Next on Party is Over, we're having a candid conversation about sex addiction. Certified sex therapist Dr. Holly Richmond is here to advise us on what it really is and the impact it can have on relationships. Welcome to our show, Holly.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with you.
This is great. We have so many questions about this topic. And what is your definition of a sex addict?
You started with a really hard question because it's not an official diagnosis.
Yes.
Really?
It's not.
I had no idea.
No, this is not an official diagnosis. It's not in the DSM. It's not in the ICD-11. So there's other words for it. So compulsive is the word that you will see in the ICD-11. But this term sex addict is more colloquial or more culturally used. But I promise I won't answer it now. So when I'm treating sexual compulsivity, I'm treating someone that has trouble controlling sexual urges, whether it's with pornography, with themselves, with other people, in a way that is negatively impacting their life. So it's, getting in the way of work. It's getting in the way of personal relationships. It's getting in the way of their health. It's getting in the way of their finances. Something is being negatively impacted. They've tried to stop it and they are unable to.
And do you test these people? Do you give them an actual test to try to figure out, are they an addict or have these compulsive issues, or is it just from what they tell you?
So there are measures that some people use. For me, it's really more qualitative. So when they sit down, so people find me because they know they have an issue. Right. So they will sit down. I have someone that I've been working with most recently who will say, I've spent upwards of 6-7 hours a day of doing this. I've tried to stop. I've gone to cold turkey. I've tried these programs. Nothing is working. So they really come in self-identified most of the time for someone like myself.
So you just go and identify what the root of the problem is?
Yes, typically. So are we working with anxiety? Are we working with depression? Is this loneliness really what's impacting us here? And then if we call it sex addiction, treating out of control sexual behavior, sexual compulsivity, all of those phrases work.
So when somebody is a sex addict or has compulsivity towards sex, is it generally a trauma response? Are you born that way? Like, what takes an otherwise functional person into this realm?
Yes. So you're definitely not born this way. If we're going to...
Okay. I mean, right? I mean, it's like, should we be concerned?
No, you're definitely not born this way.
Totally. Really good question. But this would be in the area of behavioral addiction. If we are going to stretch into the addiction model, it's a behavioral addiction. So this is something learned, or yes, absolutely, it could be caused by trauma. If it's caused by trauma, there's usually some attachment wound there. So this person feels either very alone, there's a lot of shame going on around their sexuality, or they need to validate themselves and build up that ego strength, and they've only figured out how to do it through that sexual lens instead of through a more securely attached relational lens.
So on the behavioral end of it, would a traditional 12-step program that would be used to treat other sorts of addictions like narcotics addiction, alcohol addiction, do those steps translate to sex addiction?
They absolutely do. And a different new client that I have has been in recovery in a 12-step program for 6 years now, and it has really saved his life. So it works exactly the same way that Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous would work.
So is it called Sex Anonymous?
Sex Addictions Anonymous.
It is. Okay, so it's the same thing.
And you have a sponsor, you go through the whole program.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. And then you have other people that you can relate to and that are your support system that are going through the same exact thing that you're going through.
Is it ever to a point where somebody needs residential treatment for one of these disorders?
That's where it gets a little bit trickier for me. We all remember I don't know if I'm allowed to say names here, but a certain,
yes, please.
Sandra loves names.
Please use names.
Yes. So Harvey Weinstein. So
Yes.
do you remember this whole thing? And he's like, I'm going to send myself to this fancy spa in Arizona for my sex addiction.
Was it the Meadows?
I don't even know.
Oh.
I don't know where it was, but just the fact that he was going away for residential. I'm trying to answer your question nicely. So yes, those situations exist, but that gets tricky for me because I don't believe he was a sex addict. I believe he was pathologizing bad behavior.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
makes
he
sense.
wasn't a sex addict at all. He was just
just
yeah,
Just
he's
an
just
asshole,
making an
right?
excuse.
Right. Just an
And
asshole.
that gets into like this whole thing. I feel like, think about all these couples where the guy's like, I'm a sex addict, so forgive me. It's such a cop-out.
Right.
So,
really, they're probably just very insecure men.
Yes.
Or he's just a cheater.
No. Well,
I mean,
but
he can't
only
keep his
an
penis in his pants,
but
and he
only-
says it's an addiction.
But don't you think an insecure man is a cheater?
Yeah,
I mean, like a
exactly.
secure man doesn't need to cheat. They don't need validation from other people.
Exactly.
Right, exactly. So that's this piece where, yes, the residential places exist. I'm not sure they're treating exactly the right thing. If the therapists there are really getting to the root of what is your anxiety, what is your grandiosity, is there some personality disorder going on, some other addiction issue that's now playing out in the sexual realm. So I guess that's the way I would answer the question. So yes, and.
So a real sex addict could be somebody that actually needs that sexual release like multiple times a day. I mean, does that exist? Or is that?
They do, yes, absolutely. Many, many times a day. It's just this compulsive behavior because they feel better when they get the hit. So it's part of the chase.
So it's like a drug.
Like a
Right.
dopamine.
I get this person. And then I have the physiological release of the orgasm, oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, all of those feel-good hormones. That lasts for 10, 15 minutes, and then you're left sitting with your feelings again.
Right,
You're like, oh, shit,
exactly.
I better go chase that high.
Is there a gender that has more of a propensity towards sex addiction, like male or female? Or is it across the board?
It's across the board. It happens across the board, but there's more men that identify that way than women. And I think that's for several different reasons.
What do you think the percentage of men or women are that can cure this?
Can cure this? 100%. I think 100% can cure this.
Is it cured or is it dormant?
I think it's cured, but you have to treat the root cause. The sexual compulsivity is just, the sexual compulsivity is the behavior. What is the root cause? Is it insecurity? Is it anxiety? Is it attachment? Is it trauma? Like that's what you've got to figure out. And it's different than an addiction like alcoholism because there's no physiological dependence. So when I'm working with my patients, I can take their porn away. I can take their sexual acting out away, and no one's going to go through withdrawals or die because I take that away, which is different than if there's a dependence, that physiological dependence on alcohol or drugs.
When you have a patient that you're working with, do you tell them from the beginning no sexual activity for a certain amount of time while they're in your program?
No, I don't believe in the abstinence model. Unless, so a lot of the people that come to me have trouble with masturbation. So it's porn and masturbation. Now, if it's sexually acting out and that's having a huge impact on their life, we would really try to rein that in. But most of what I'm seeing is porn addiction. So if they're masturbating 7 times a day, I'm going to take that down to 5 times a day for the first week or 2, and then at 4 times a day, and then 3. Let's try to go every other day. If they're masturbating for 2 hours at a time, I'll say, let's try an hour and a half, and then we'll go to 45 minutes. So I just dial it back slowly instead of trying to go abstinence.
Instead of cold turkey. That makes a lot of sense.
So has technology impacted the amount of porn addiction since it's so readily available? Like, has the amount of sex addiction gone up in the past 20 years or so because of the access?
I think definitely with the technological piece of this, it absolutely has. And we have language for it now. So I think that's why you would see the rise. I'm not sure if there's more of it. It's just that we can point to it and name it.
How do you feel that the sex addiction affects relationships, both emotionally and physically?
So the person who is sexually compulsive is most of the time turning away from their partner and looking externally. So it has incredible damage to the relationship. So the attachment there isn't as secure. There's probably anxiety, depression, there's lying, there's infidelity in some way, whether it's online or in person. So there is just a lot of betrayal trauma, and trust is eroded.
So say you are in a relationship with a sex addict. Is it doomed? Do you run for the hills? I mean, like, what are these people supposed to do? Do they stick around?
Yes. Yeah. So I would say most of the people that I've worked with have worked through it with their partners.
Oh, wow.
So it's really understanding. And this last gentleman that I was telling you about that's been in the recovery program, this is a trauma that was kind of set up in his family of origin. He really understands it now. And the trajectory that I always work through is awareness, understanding, behavior change. So we have to have an awareness that there's the problem, understand why that problem is there, and only from that place can we make those behavioral changes. And absolutely, that's done every day.
Well, that's great news to hear that. I mean, it's like being in a 12-step program for alcoholism.
Like, I almost am wondering, do you recommend the other partner get some help too? Like, I personally don't think I could get past behavior like that, no matter how much I loved somebody.
No, you could, if you knew that they had a problem.
I don't think I could. No? Honestly, no. I don't think I could. No. I'd be done. I couldn't get past it. I couldn't look at my husband and know that he was with somebody else and wake up next to him. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm a little bit more lenient than that.
I'm like very boundary oriented.
But she has very strict boundaries.
Very strict.
This has been great. How can our viewers reach you if they have questions or they want to be part of your program or know
Wonderful. Thank you.
needs...
Yeah. So my website is just drhollyrichmond.com, drhollyrichmond.com, and on Instagram at drhollyrichmond.
This has been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Thank you
This
really
was
for
so
taking your time.
interesting.
So interesting.